In a Pickle with Gene Moore, sponsored by GeneMooreComedy.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In a Pickle. I'm so glad that you're back. I hope you pull up some snacks, and let's get started with the show. It's summer. Summer is in full effect, and if you are in anywhere else in this world or this country, be thankful wherever you're at, because it is hot. It is hot. Look, and I'm not complaining. I love being here in the heat. My favorite thing is to go outside and that wind blows and it's still hot. I just love the heat. But this is, Chris, how you holding up in this heat? It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hot here in Arizona for our first time, listeners that don't know where you're from.
Well, thank you, Chris. But it's hot here. It is really hot. And I'm worried about people because, this is a time, there are certain times in the country and the world where you just got to look out for we are our brother's keeper. We got to look out for people. I mean, it is hot. And the animals, man, it is, it's bad, isn't it, Chris?
It's bad, and it's that time of year where you can't take a cold shower. There's no such thing as a cold shower. Your cold water is warm.
Yeah, it laughs at you. You're like, cold. I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, I know. It's.
I don't think a lot of people around the world understand that dilemma. When you all you want is a cold shower to cool off, and it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's hot. Yeah, I know. You boil yourself. I smell like stew. Who's making stew? It's me in the shower. It's me. But that's part of living here. It's part of the pain that we suffer through, because it does, I would say like after around Halloween time.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, it's really good here. So, and that's when people are like in the snowstorms and really suffering. So I don't know. We don't have tornadoes. And you know why we don't have tornadoes here, Chris?
Why?
Because I put a sign of the cross in the northwest corner, and the Lord passes over this house. So the Lord ain't going to have no.
So the whole state is protected?
Because of Gene Moore. And you're welcome, Arizona. You are welcome. So let's get right on to the show. What do you say, Chris? Let's talk about who's in a pickle this week. And first, we want to start out with that Jason Aldean guy. Man, he is. You know what? Here's the thing. Gene Moore does not want to add to any conflict in the world or make the world negative. That is not who I am or what I'm about. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. If you see me today from where I was 10 years ago, I have changed and evolved a lot. It is a process. It has been hard. I have not always been a kind person or a nice person, but I honestly try my best. I do. I try my best. And what I don't want to add to it and say anything negative about this Jason guy, but I just think it's not that video. I watched it. It is. Let's say this. I think when you're an artist, you have a responsibility to transcend the American experience, the human experience. That's why we're here on this planet, to be a light to others and to make it better. That isn't making it better. That's making money by showing what divides us. Small town versus big town. And we already know it's bad. But Jason Aldean, in case he forgets, because this is where I went negative right away, like we all do. I went and I started thinking, he lives in Macon, Georgia, right? Small town. So number 2 of the country in chart with most lynchings in the United States in that small town. In small towns, Matthew Shepard was a gay guy killed in a small town. In his county, Dustin Howard was a transgender person killed in his town. Barry Winchell, gay, killed in Kentucky. Small town killed. 25 years old, Ahmaud Arbery was killed just for jogging in a small town. So don't act like the small town is better. And what offended me was that he didn't include the Capitol footage of the insurrection, or what happened in Charlotte, where they were the racist people got together and were out there marching and where they killed somebody. He didn't show that footage. And that's where I went initially, because that's where you go. But you can't stay there. That will make you crazy. When I was really thinking about it, and it's a change for Gene Moore because I have been working out, so I'm not bragging or anything. But but when I was working out, I was thinking about it. It was making me madder. And when you get too mad, sometimes you just need to think. Because I came from a small town. Ran from my life. My family found out I was gay, threw me out. in a small town. Small town values, right? They didn't give a crap. They threw me out like a piece of trash. Threw me out, right? And so sometimes when I think of a small town, I think of the negative. But the great thing about being, for me, is Catholic, and I love being a Catholic. And I know it's not cool for everyone to talk about, and I don't push my religion. But what it's good for me is you have to think about the good Samaritan, the good people that help you. And I will tell you this: when I lived in a small town, my mom died, and I went and lived with my uncles, and it was a real small town. And I was not doing well in school, not doing well. I was a senior, and one day I was going to school, and I parked my car, and I was running in doing my homework because I'm a kid. I'm stupid, right? And I'm doing my homework as I'm walking because Gene Moore loves to wait till the last minute. You don't know. I build an airplane every day in flight. I just keep it going. But anyways, I'm doing my homework, and this lady, and I wasn't looking, and this lady came and hit me, and I fell down to the ground. And, I moved from a bigger town, Grand Rapids. It's not big. It's like 500,000 at the time. And I moved to this small town, 10,000 people, right? So I forgot. I didn't know. Years later, I saw a movie called Footloose. That was me. I moved to a little small town where there was no music, and I was humming. And I had to be, reminded of what it's like to live in a town with no music. But that's what it was. And everyone's footloose, So, but she hit me, and when I got down, I was like stunned. And then she gets out, and she says to me, she starts yelling because I'm Mexican that I'm a dirty spick, and I got in the way. And I'm like, screw you, because I'm from the city. I didn't know there's, in Footloose town, we don't talk that way. I said, screw you, you just hit me, lady. And then she's like, what? And I'm like, and then I'm like, fuck you. I was 17. I'm not, correct. I'm not proud of it. So then she takes me in to see the principal, and the principal yells at me and puts me in, yells at me. And really, he says, he didn't use those words, but it was stay in your lane, and you need to learn when you live here how you're supposed to act. And he kind of intimidated me and let me know, because we were field workers, that, our family needed to, I don't want to go too far into it, but he made me it known that I could make it hard for my family. So I shut my mouth, and then my punishment was that I had to go work. I think at my lunchtime or something, I had to go to the elementary school and be like a recess teacher. You know what I mean? And, I'm 17. I just wanted to be with my friends and drive my car and, listen to music. Everybody's foot loose. And I couldn't foot loose. And so I did it, and I was mad, but it's so funny. And this is what Jason Aldean doesn't know. What is so funny is that God does work in mysterious ways, because when I was there was a little boy, and he was like in third grade. I don't even know how old you are in third grade. I don't have kids. I don't really, but he obviously was gay, and he was having a hard time making friends and getting beat up. And I always watched him. I always made sure that he was okay. And because I was the adult, I made it cool, and I made the other kids talk to him. And that's what I thought that I was there for. Completely forgot about the real reason I was there. And it came to me when I was jogging, when I was thinking about Jason Aldean, when I was angry about him for being low vibration, by just showing footage of things that reinforce negative stereotypes, right? And if you don't get that is negative stereotypes, I don't mean to make you angry. I challenge you to go pray, or to go, if you don't believe in God, just to have a moment and think about how it's like to live in someone else's shoes, just for a moment, to get a perspective. Because that's how we heal this country, is we just have to learn to be our brother's keeper. And how does that impact someone else? So I was there, and I was mad, and then I thought, oh yeah, I was remembering, I helped that little kid when he was gay. Totally forgot that the real reason it was there, and I totally forgot all these years. There was a lady when I was there. She was like she was like a secretary. Her name was Miss Price. Miss Price was amazing. She took interest in me when no one else did. And so she knew the teachers at the high school. And she would say, I know you're not doing too well. Why don't you bring your homework? And she helped me with my homework. And here's the thing that's really embarrassing. I was a horrible writer. Mr. Yonkers used to grade me and he would grade, like we would write papers, and he would grade me, and he would say, I'm just going to do it in all red because everything is wrong. He just made me feel so stupid, and I really got into my head that I couldn't write. And so, because I'm a little dyslexic, I forget words, and I do that. So this lady, Miss Price, says to me, I was just on punishment just to go and do that for a month. She said, the person that you're here covering is not coming back. So in the next semester, why don't we sign you up where you can get school credits and we will pay you and you could come here and I'll help you with your homework. I said no at first, but you know what? God does come to you and like, you better do it. You better do it. So I knew I had to do it because I really wanted out of that small town. I did. I wanted out so bad. And I knew if I flunked, I'd be there one more year. So I go back. She helps me with writing, and I told her I'm dumb, I can't do it, and I'm Mexican, and I'm just going to work in the fields. I don't need to learn how to write. And she was like, you're so wrong. You are so wrong. And she told me about this golfer I never heard of, Chichi Rodriguez. I never heard of him. And then she told me about this congressman that is Mexican named Henry Gonzalez, because I told her I wanted to go into politics. And she's like, and they're Mexican. And you could do it. Mexican people can do things, but you have to learn how to write. And she was right to write. And and I told her I was so embarrassed, and I just came clean. And, Oprah always talks about surrendering, where you just say, I surrender. I can't write, and I'm just going to put all my cards on the table. And she said, right. And she's like, I can see what you have. I have the same thing. So she showed me how a person with dyslexia, I can't even say it, how you can write. And then, she would say, hey, write with passion, write without fear, write without worrying about being correct. Just write it out and then go back and edit it. And that's how you do. And she's like, it's going to take you longer, but it's going to be better. And so I said, okay. So I did. And she helped me pass high school. And I forgot about that, Chris. I forgot about thinking about the small town of they kicked me out because I'm gay, or all the racist people that I had to deal with because I was Mexican. It was just, we would work in the fields and they would come and throw pop cans or rocks at us while we were working.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad. We would get paid on Friday. We would go to the bank, and white people would be mad that we were in the bank cashing our checks. You know what I mean?
Really?
And this wasn't like the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. This is crazy. You know what I mean? Wow. It was just really, being called Spick all the time, just horrible names. So forgot about that lady helped me get out of there. She helped me get out of that town. Fast forward 10 years later, I moved to San Antonio, and I was a supervisor for an insurance company, Humana. And I was in San Antonio, and I was doing political work, volunteer, and I met that congressman, Henry Gonzalez. Isn't that something that's a full circle moment? Totally forgot about, totally linking him to her. And so what I'm saying is, very long-winded, Chris. I'm sorry if it's not funny, but Jason Aldean, he's lower vibrational. Like, he doesn't understand. America's about Ambrosia Salad. It's about Cool Whip and mandarin oranges and pineapple. All the things that make us, different makes us good, And so I don't think that he should be canceled for it. I just think he's a lazy writer when he could have added other things to transcend the human experience. How do you feel as a white person? I mean, let me put you on the spot, Whitey. No,
I'm white.
You are white. You're you're white. You're like cream cheese white. Like at night, I don't need to turn on the light. I see you. Oh, there he is. There's Whitey. I know right where he's at. That's my night light.
I think the song really kind of just exposes what's really happening in our country right now. There's a huge divide, like city people versus country people.
But country people think that it's so much better there. What about all the meth and, right? All the domestic violence?
Small towns have their charm for sure, but I think it's, about them not being able to keep up with how society is changing really fast.
Well, they need to.
They're having a hard time with it. But yeah, I think it's, I think that's the divide right now. I don't think it's Republican versus Democrat. It's small town versus big town. Yeah. But what a lot of people don't realize, most people in America live in a small town.
That is correct. That is correct. And you know what Joe Biden did? Because he's so smart, he brought them the internet. And when you have the internet, you can join online college and you could change your situation. So don't blame other people for your station in life. Be uncomfortable and do things that are uncomfortable and go back to school and do whatever you want. Open a business. You know what I mean? Go online. You could sell pictures of your feet on OnlyFans in a small town. You can do anything. In America, you know what? Right now, I'm Catholic. I go to school. I work a little bit harder. What am I? I'm Methodist. Amen. I'm moving up. Work a little bit harder. Go back to school. What am I? Lutheran. I'm moving up in America. You could do anything in America. You can. You could be anything. And so, I have a joke where I always say that I looked up to white trash. I did. I grew up gay, poor, Mexican. I looked up to white trash because I thought one day if I work hard enough, I too could be white trash. Because in America, as long as you work hard and you're a good person, you're going to move ahead. The universe will bless you. And you can't be blaming other people for your station in life. You just got to work harder. You got to work different. Amen? Oh, it's a sermon today. Who am I talking to? It's just that Jason Aldean thing just really made me mad because, here's the thing. Anyone that's gay, and this isn't a gay podcast, and I am not speaking for all the gays. I'm the most horrible gay. I have a gag reflex and no ass. I'm the worst gay in America. But George Michael said it right. In the absence of security, I made my way into the street. That means, to me, you have to change your situation, even in fear, and go to a different place, whether it be educationally or physically in a location. Amen?
Amen. I
mean, God, to act like small town people are better or good or just a little bit better, really?
Yeah.
I know. I had to leave my small town. They probably would have killed me. You know what I mean? So
just today in my small town where I'm from, they found a dead body.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it an older person or?
I don't know. They just found him on the side of the road.
You know what, Chris? I was just looking this up last week. There is a guy that has a spreadsheet. He says that men are they're finding men all over this country just dead. They're like out in the woods on the side of the road, and no one's like putting them together as a serial killer. And he's got a spreadsheet. I took a picture of him on, I get all my news from Instagram. That's where I am in this life. So I don't know if it's true, but I do need to look it up. If that's true, it's scary because now we live in the country here, and I drive my bike in the country.
I could see that, and this is going to be something controversial to say, but a woman comes up missing or murdered.
Yeah.
Everyone stops what they're doing.
I know.
The country shuts down.
I know. But a man, I know. It's crazy.
Is that too controversial to say?
I don't know. I just think that, people have been missing all my life. I tell you this story of when I was in high school, this girl went to go see her brother in East Kentwood, went to see her brother wrestling. And it's wintertime, so you have to have your coat at all times. She left her coat, went to the bathroom, vanished, never seen again. Gone. My aunt, her mother-in-law was cooking at home on Thanksgiving. It was Michigan wintertime. She was cooking, so there's snow. It was a heavy snow, and she was in the house. She's diabetic and wore glasses, right? She was cooking Thanksgiving dinner. They go to her house. And the door is open in the back. Not like open, but it was like the screen door was unlocked. And her glasses and medicine and purse were there in the house. And no footprints anywhere, front or back, and she's still missing.
She's missing?
They vanished. Never found her.
Wow.
Never found. People come up missing all the time, and nobody talks about it.
It's pretty shocking if you start looking at the list of missing people.
I know.
It's a long freaking list.
I know. That's why I always tell you where I'm at.
And nobody's talking about it.
And nobody's talking about missing people. I don't want to be missing. You know what I mean? That's terrifying to me. I don't know. That's why if you don't see me next week, I'm missing, bitch. Come get me. Put me on the spreadsheet. I'm gone. No, but I don't know. the small town thing, that really, we need to get over that. We need to, it's 2023. We don't need to be arguing what divides us or what's different. What we need to be talking about, what makes us better, what we could do to heal. And today we're recording this on Tuesday. The President Joe Biden, and I know some people don't like him, and I don't mean to offend you, but I do like him. I don't like the vice president, although she did a great speech last week in Florida when Ron DeSantis said that black people could learn something from slavery. Oh, my God.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard someone say.
Ever. And she went down there and spoke up on it. And I'm like, okay, now that's what I want. That's what I want more of. I want more of that.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden today gave, they're making a monument for Emmett Till, which is important because it's so important in this time and I know there's some white people that want to tell history in a way that makes them feel comfortable. And that is not correct. We have to tell the truth. The truth will set you free. Amen. It has to, or else you're going to do it again. So no one's saying that we're going to hate white people. That's nonsense. No one hates white people. No one does. But you can't not talk about what happened. That's insane.
Or insinuate that, slaves learned a skill, so it was a positive thing.
Horrific. Horrific. Like, all that says is he doesn't know the history, that all the horrors that they did to black people. It was, just imagine, and it as an American, it is our constitutional God-given right to live in a free society. Imagine someone telling you what you could do, who you could sleep with, what you can eat, when to go to bed, what to do, where to pee, when to poop. You know what I mean? Everything. These white people lost their minds when they told them to wear a mask. So,
I had
don't get me going. I'll get hot.
When I was in high school, I had a history teacher that said he tried to convince us that indentured servants had it worse than slaves.
It's crazy. That's insane. I know.
It's like, no, indentured servants get to at least be free one day.
It's insane. It's a crazy time. America's at its best when we are Ambrosia Salad, when there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The best time I've ever had in my life is in the Army, and that was with so many diverse people from everywhere. It was insane, and I had the best time. So Ambrosia Salad is the way to go. It's the way. Have you ever had Ambrosia Salad?
Not to my knowledge, no.
You never? Your mom didn't make it?
No, I think it's too fancy.
Oh, is it because the Cool Whip makes it fancy? That's funny. Well, Chris, we can't have, we all can't have everything we want. I hope that I live this life and live a full life, but that I leave with a nickname. Did you ever have a nickname?
No, I don't think so.
Never had a nickname ever?
No.
I know, me either. Have you ever thought about it?
No.
Oh, I would love to have a nickname, like when I was growing up, we had and this is, you don't always get what you want, but there is this kid, his name was Gooch, the Gooch. And I just thought that was the Gooch. Where's the Gooch? Everybody, where's the Gooch? And my friend at work, he has a friend. His dad has a friend who's a realtor. And anytime anybody in the office talks about buying a house, he says Bruce the Moose, because Bruce the Moose is a realtor. And that's a great name, Bruce the Moose? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Aren't you called the Beast of Comedy?
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. No, I need a real cool name, something that makes me like the Gooch. You know what I mean? It's like if your name, the Gooch is it's like you're aggressive and like you're athletic. Everything that I am, athletic. But Bruce the Moose, think of Bruce the Moose. If you're Bruce the Moose, you don't have to go on a diet. No one expects you to be, eating a salad or being healthy. No one's going to leave something upstairs and be like, Bruce the Moose, can you go upstairs and get that? No one's going to do that. When you're Bruce the Moose, you get to live a life in a recliner. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
That does sound wonderful.
That's how I want to. Somebody give me a nickname before, besides fag. That hurt my feelings all the time. And I'm learning how to drink and talk at the same time. I would tell you this. Look at my ice. That's how hot it is. It melted. It's so hot. I'm not even wearing a coat, and I always
Arizona
wear
is no joke in the summer.
the ice melts. It's hot.
No joke.
I will tell you this, though. I'm losing weight, though, so I feel good about that. I feel Chris was right. He was like, all you need to do is work out a little bit. And he tricked me, and now I'm like in it to win it. I am.
I got you a bike.
I know. I ride that bike everywhere. I do. And yesterday, though, I blew out the tires. And I don't think that was my weight. I think that was some prickers or some shit. Like Jason Aldean did that. I think that was some craziness. But yeah, I got it fixed, so we'll do it. So I'll tell you this, what we did great last week. Last week we went to see some more, the Queen of Comedy.
So good.
So good. Did you like her?
I always love her.
Can you believe how Ray got so drunk? Okay, we'll talk about that later. But golly, bitch.
No, I appreciate her so much because every show is not a completely different set, but she adds so much new material every single set.
So good.
So good.
So classy. I just love her. I love her face.
I love her style. I love how she dresses, and she's fly.
I will. Did you say she's fly?
Yeah.
I will say this. It was a little scary when we were outside and these ladies came and they were cutting, and the lady behind me, she was not having it. She was hot. You know what I mean? And she's like, she got up to my ear, if you let another mother effer through. And I was scared. I was like, oh, crap.
It was scary. And then I went and sat down because it was too hot, and she sat next to me. And then the lady started smoking, so she was mad about that.
Oh, she was just mad on the... Oh, man.
Everything was making her mad.
But I loved her. She had the kind of energy that I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was over it.
I remember when we got to the top of the stairs, I looked back at her, and I said, are you okay? And she said, girl. I never felt so seen in my life. Such a compliment. I know.
It was funny.
I'm like, how'd you know we were gay? Who told? So I don't
well, we were with Ray, so
Ray. It's funny, Ray. Sometimes I introduce Ray at a show, Chris, and he always say, Gene, listen to me. Now listen, look at me. It's serious. Don't let him know I'm gay. I want to surprise him. I'm like, oh, bitch, you walk in the room, the fire alarm goes off. You are a flamer. And that's what I love about my sister, Ray. Ray is Ray, 100%. He's never going to, he is what he is. And I love that. He does not change himself at all. And I love that. And I wish more people were authentic. So, I'm going to ask Ray to give me a nickname. I will. We're having a nickname or trying to move to a big town, small town. You can't, life doesn't get better by looking out there. I thank God I saw this movie called The Bluebird with Shirley Temple. I love
always
it.
Talk about this movie.
The Bluebird is life changing. The Bluebird was okay. What was the name of the girl who did Judy Garland? Oh my God, what kind of gay am I? I can't remember Judy Garland. Judy Garland did The Wiz. It was a big hit. So her mom,
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. What did I say?
The Wiz.
Oh, The Wiz. The Wiz is awesome. You know what? Let me stop for a moment and talk about...
I do love The Wiz.
The Wiz is amazing because it has Diana Ross.
And Michael Jackson.
And when Geneva Joy, my friend, stayed here and we watched it together, she told me the meaning of it, and it made all the difference you know what I mean? It's such a great movie with a great message. But moving lanes back to The Bluebird. So Shirley Temple's manager and mom, they were all upset and they were all up in their feelings because Judy Garland got The Wiz, the Wizard of Oz. And so she said, we want something equal. And so they made the movie The Bluebird, and it wasn't a hit, but it is so good. It's about this little girl that's bad, and she's selfish, and she has this bluebird, and she loses it, and she thinks that if she has that bluebird, it's going to make her a better person. So she goes out into the world, and it's a fantastic movie, like fantastical, I think is the word. Like her dog turns into a human, and her cat turns into a human, and they go help her, and they go to the land of the dead, and they see her grandma and grandpa looking for the bluebird. Then they go to the land of the people not been born yet, and they see Abraham Lincoln. It's really, I know, it's trippy.
Abe Lincoln makes an appearance in this movie.
Well, an actor portraying him. Honest Abe. Yeah, and so he's very melancholy up there too. He's not even born yet, and the bitch
Well, he
is
got
already
shot
depressed.
in the head, so.
I know. And so then she goes to the land of the luxury, and she meets these very rich people looking for no bluebird. And you know what? She goes back home, and the bluebird is there. And the moral of the story is, whatever happiness, whatever you're looking for, whether it be a nickname or whatever you need, it is going to be where you are at. It's within, right? That's the message. And that's what nobody's talking about, Chris.
Love it.
Thank you. My real segment, though, I have a news segment. Well, I'm going to move into that one. I'm going to go to, I'm a little scatterbrained today, aren't I?
Well, you always are.
Wow. I want to do my friend of the week. Friend of the week. And I'm going to have this one picture. So my one friend of the week is Danielle Williams, the diva. Danielle is my friend. She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. She's a comedian. When we go on the road, sometimes we go with other comedians and we keep our expenses down. Me and Danielle, we share a bed. She's the diva, so I always make sure she has more room. You know, and I put a pillow between us. I tell her that's the wall because I'm Mexican. But I love Danielle. I love being with Danielle. She's always, you know what though, Chris? I'll tell you this. We went to, we did a show in Columbus, Ohio, and we had to fly. And I said, you know, my airline of choice is American Airlines. I just love them. They're my official airlines.
They're consistent.
They are. I never have trouble. I love them. But she wanted to save some money, some coins. And she said, let's go Southwestern. I said, no, I can't do it. I can't fly with poor people. I used to be poor. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, so she's like, come on. I'm like, no, just trust me. So we fly there. Everything's good. Coming back, American Airlines had a delay for like 8 hours. Ooh. And when that lady told us how long, Danielle was not having it. She gave me a look that I was scared. She was like, don't talk to me, G Moore. But we made good friends. But yeah, she was really mad. You know what I love most about her? She's a stage 4 cancer survivor. And she's so beautiful. Like, her spirit is so amazing. Like, she's always happy, always complimentary.
Yeah.
She's
sweet.
I hate taking pictures with her because she's so beautiful and I look so frumpy.
She used to be on the news, right?
She was on the radio, and then she had
She was a news anchor, is that right?
No, I don't think she was a news anchor, but she did like the weather for TV, and then she had a morning show called Mixed Nuts, I think, or Mixed something. And it was, you know, like, it was a local TV show. So I did it. She interviewed me once. There's an episode where I did a fundraiser and she interviewed me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. It was all fun. You know, the gays use the word kiki. Like, we're all just laughing, kikiing, having fun. And then we sit down, and then Danielle, when they say 5, 4, 3, Danielle looked at me and she said, answer every question I give you. And she was so on. I was like, yes, ma'am. I'm going to do whatever you say, ma'am. Like, she was professional.
Wow.
Just really together. You know, when she had cancer, the thing Danielle and she prides herself. She's so tough. We did shows and we would split the time. So, like, she would do 45, I would do 45. And we did a show, and she was weak going up there. And she said, I don't know if I can do my time, so be ready. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, she's always going to do her time. Even tired, she would do it, you know. She didn't do it. She went to 30 minutes. That scared the shit out of me. And so I'm like, she was really weak, and she had to go sit down. And we went on. Nobody knew. And on the way home, because she had lost so much weight and was losing weight like crazy, it was getting scary. I accused her of being bulimic, and I started crying. And I'm like, you're my friend, and I know it's uncomfortable, and I know that nobody's talking about it, but we're going to go to KFC right I'm so stupid. I was crying, and I'm like, Danielle, we're going to go to KFC right now, and we're going to eat together, and I'm going to watch you eat everything, and we're going to eat, and you know what? You're going to not puke it out. And she's like, I'm not bulimic. And I'm like, I said, Danielle, I may not be good at many things in this life, but I'm good at getting fat. come live with me and Chris for a week. We will fatten you up. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, we know how to do it.
oh, we know how to get fat. You know what I mean? Like, fat is where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I got down. I should write a book. Bitch, you want to be fat? It's time. It's time for Gene to take care of Gene. So I'm like, Danielle. So we go to KFC, right? And I got her macaroni, cheese, and potatoes, all the starches, right? And so she ate everything, and then, she went to the doctors, and she humored me. We thought, if you're not a comic, you probably don't get it. You think it's mean, but we laughed about it, and I'm stupid. I just thought this was my way of curing her,
KFC.
KFC. I know, I was so sick too. We ate so many biscuits. So anyways, like a week later, she calls me, Chris, and she told me she had cancer, stage 4 cancer.
Wow.
Let me tell you how beautiful Danielle is, how strong. I started crying. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what? And she was comforting me. Me. And I'm like, Danielle, stop. I'm like, you're going to be okay. And then I'm like, what do you need? Then I went into, Gene Moore is emotional, but then I always go into, the older brother. What do you need?
Right.
You need money? We're going to get you money. Don't even worry about money. Schedule whatever appointments you are. We're going to get you the money. And I'll say this, for Phoenix, Arizona comedy scene, every single club, I called or emailed them. They always picked up my phone calls, and all of them did a fundraiser. Not one comedy club said no. Not one. Any night, they said, come and do it. They will do whatever they want we can do for Danielle. And I was surprised. Some of them clubs are small and they're greedy with their money, but yeah, they did it. Every club did it. We did a fundraiser for every single club, and she made a lot of money, and she had good doctors. And so now she can't say she's in remission, but she has been, following their orders, and I think it's gone down a lot. And, I pray for her all the time. But I see her always hiking and just being so classy. Yeah. It's her legs. They're so beautiful and long. She's so, I don't know. She's so beautiful. I just love her. So, I don't know. There's a picture I'm going to put up of her that I love. I'm going to put 2, actually. There's 2 pictures that I love of her. She just inspires me. And that's my friend of the week. And you know what? That is the blessing that I was thinking about when I was jogging, is that how God gives me such great friends and these great characters and people to help me when I need it the most. Like that lady who helped me graduate high school and tell me, I was already thinking about how do I get out of the fields, but I didn't think there was a way out. And she helped think, like she validated that it was possible. Yeah. And I'll tell you, when I left the fields, they said I would be back. Bitch, I ain't going back. I'm not. You know how hard it is to walk in the dirt in your heels? Too hard. I'm not going to be a field worker. But yeah, Danielle is the diva. I love her so much. That's my friend, I grow too attached to my friends though, Chris. I do. Yeah. My friends are my family, since my family doesn't want anything to do with me. And I should clarify that. My cousins have been amazing, and they have reached out. My niece asked me to be in her wedding. That made me cry so hard, So, it's the next generation is trying to do right. Yeah. It's an awkward situation, I did go back to Michigan for the first time last year. Yeah, 20 years, So
you didn't see anyone though, did you?
No, I didn't go on that side of the state. The guy that's helping me book shows, I told him I want to go to Michigan. He's working on dates, but it's very emotional for me to go to Michigan because, when my family kicked me out for being gay, I didn't sass talk them because they were older, and I respect my uncles and aunts. And I don't hate them for the decision that they made. I'm not going to say I forgive them because I'm petty, but I understand it, and I don't hold it against them, right? But they act like it never happened, and that's what hurts. So I just don't know, Chris, if I can handle that rejection again.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to be a mess.
Yeah.
I know. I want to be eating a lot that weekend.
Trips to KFC.
I know. So that's my segment. I'm going to go to a new segment called, well, am I lying? Do I not know how to be fat?
Oh, you're an expert at it.
Thank you. Sometimes you don't give me enough compliments, so I'll take that as you know what? I want to go to Nobody's Talking About It, and nobody's talking about it. I can't think of the theme song. I got to get it right. So, in a little bit, we're going to have proper segment flyers and segments. So I wish you would learn how to do that, Chris. That's your job as producer.
Well, let me
edit this.
Let me take some courses and
yeah, I think I can get
I'll
you.
take some night classes.
I know a guy. I'll get you. I know a guy. So I'll figure out how. And you know what? We should ask Danielle, take her out to dinner because she edits her own videos. I'm gonna do that. Next question. Next segment is nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. This is the segment this week. Jill Stein. Ooh, Chris. I don't know if you've been watching the news. So I'm a Democrat. I'm not comfortable when the Democratic Party comes out in strong arms. Cornel West is running as the Green Party, right? And they're trying to get him out of the race because they say it's going to make votes for Trump, which is not correct. Everyone has a right to run for president in this country. Everyone does. And so if Joe Biden loses votes to Trump, it's not because of Cornel West. You know, what they're really coming after, and this really scares me, and as a Democrat, we really need to question it. We have to question this. RFK went to Congress last week, and the Democrats were on him. Like, why are they doing? Who's benefiting from that? Like, I don't know if it's right or it's wrong, but we do need to look at it and just not accept the talking points. It's not correct. It's not good when the Republicans do it. It's not good when we do it. But they are making Jill Stein like a traitor. And it is true that Hillary Clinton would have won presidency in 2016 if she lost Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Those were states that Jill Stein did well and took away votes from Hillary. But did Jill Stein cost that election, or did Hillary not campaign right? You know?
Right.
She needed to be a little tougher. So running a campaign like Pete Buttigieg, where all the advisors tell you what to say, it's fake. Everyone could feel it.
Right.
So I don't know. So they're making Jill Stein like this enemy, and we need to question that. And nobody's talking about why the Democrats are making her, they're calling her a communist because, I mean, she took a picture with Putin. You know, she was over there. She took Chris, do you know how many times I take pictures in small towns I took a picture with the mayor. I'm sure he's Republican. That doesn't make me Republican.
Right.
It just, you just show a little bit of respect for a leader, an elected, Putin won by a fake election. 90, but
yeah.
So, but still, it doesn't make her, they are saying she's a communist because of that photo, and that doesn't make you a communist. So I think the Democrats need to stop being little bitches and run better campaigns. They do all those good things, but they don't ever tell anybody what they do, and then they act all butthurt when they lose. The Republicans do one thing, and they tell everybody what they did.
Right. Yeah, Democrats don't speak to the average American person.
No, they are leaving people behind.
Yeah.
They're doing that lawyery talk because this is the land not of the free, but land of the fee. It costs money to live here, and the official language of the United States isn't English. That's wrong. It's legalese, and you need lawyers to hire and decipher to keep the rich rich. That's what it is. And it's not small town and big town in this country. The problem is super rich people, really rich people, and everyone else. It's in the middle class and working class. That's where the divide. They keep us fighting so that we don't look at why Doritos are shrinking but going up in price. I'm not going to let that go. Shrinkflation is wrong. And Jason Aldean is a part of that. I'm blaming him when I don't eat my Doritos. So I just think, am I wrong, Chris? Am I wrong? You probably think I'm wrong. Don't agree with me. I'm crazy and I'm hungry. But I just think we need to talk about why they're trying to make RFK Jr., which he may be crazy. I'm not cool with some of the things. Like, he likes that Tabby Gifford, which I think she is a Russian asset.
Tulsi Gabbard.
I don't like her. I don't like politicians that are hot.
Is she a Republican now?
I think she is, and I can't stand that.
Yeah, people that switch parties like that.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah, unless you had, if I would be a when I win that lotto, oh, you best believe that Trump sticker's going on my car. Oh, I'm going to be Republican so bad. I'm going to be the biggest Republican. I'm going to be there at the, when they nominate him. I'll be right there in the front row. Go on, Trump. Yes. If you want a lot of money and you're rich, it makes sense to be a Republican. And if you're a white male, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anyone else, it's insane.
Yeah.
It is insane to me. And that she switched parties for no reason. She didn't win no money. She didn't win the lotto. Yeah, we're going to switch to be Republicans. So you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Because we're going to be rich.
We going to be paid all that cheddar. Ooh, and I'm going to drive by just. I am going to get the pinkest pickup truck. Pinkest. And I'm going to put a horn in there and be like, beep, beep, bitch. And I'm going to drive by Jason's house all the time. I'm going to buy a house right next to him. And I'm going to get a pink helicopter and fly over him. He's going to be so mad. He's going to be so. Because, in America, that's what American men do. They buy small. When you have. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, Chris. So that's. Nobody's talking about it. Let's move on to questions. Is this show boring for you, Chris?
No, it's not boring.
Okay, everyone else probably checked out. Hopefully they went and got snacks. All right, let's try to pick up the pace. Can you tell me, look at me, drink?
So
we're at questions I haven't heard before.
Yeah, questions we haven't heard before.
So Chris, the writer, the producer, who's going to learn how to do graphics, is going to write some talk about some. I'm having a stroke right here. Can you please help me? Please, I'm blinking my eyes. He's going to read to me some questions that I have not heard before. So here we go.
All right, question number 1.
Okay, here we go. Number 1.
What is your favorite club to perform in?
Favorite club to perform in?
Comedy club.
I will tell you this. I'll answer this first. When I did that theater with that Fortune Feimster.
You are having a stroke.
Please come pump my heart. Isn't that a bitch that this is going to be the show that gets the most downloads is I stroke out. People are like, oh, yep, that bitch did die right on the YouTube. When I did that theater, that was amazing.
That was a cool theater.
That was because you would say the joke and the laugh would go all the way to the back of the room and then come back, and I wasn't prepared for that, and that really floored me. Like it really throws off your timing because I like to go boom 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 boom, but I had to pause because I had to wait for it to come back.
You did really good that night too.
Oh, thank you.
Really, really good.
That's why this works. That's why this relationship works.
I wish I would have recorded it. I didn't think to record it.
I know. Well, that's my thing. I record it on my phone so I can hear for notes to get better, but I was so stupid. It's changed. Comedy is. Greg Wilson told me that this last time I performed with him. Comedy has changed because everyone's making reels and they're going viral and they're getting TikTok views, and I thought that was a fad, like the cinnamon challenge.
It's not.
And I'm like, what? It blew my mind. I'm like, you because it takes months to get your material perfect, and you're gonna film it and burn it, and then I was like, why? And then everyone's going to no one's writing new originals. I don't want to get into that. Well, I'm going to. Nobody's talking about it. We're doing part 2. These new comics, they're not even writing new stuff. They're doing crowd work, and it's not even good crowd work. It's lazy writing. It's so Jason Aldean 2023. God. And they put their shitty videos up there, and so then I'm like, oh, at least they are getting views and they are getting booked. God damn it, the world has changed. So, Greg told me, Gene, get some videos. It's time. I'm like, he's like, I thought it was a fad too. Get to working. I know. So comedy is everything. You got to do your own marketing. You got to do your own writing. You got to do your own set design. You got to do your own travel. And
For now.
Really? I know when you said you were going to help me, you didn't with the ordering the planes and the stuff. Remember that?
You're planes?
Like, yes. I'm like, Chris, you're like, make me a list. And I'm like, okay, can you book hotels? And then you would do it. I'm like, did you book the hotel? I'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, oh my God, what if I go to a town and there's no hotels?
I was working.
I know, but where am I going to? Anyways, let that go. Let that go. Favorite club that I like to, Stir Crazy is my home comedy club. I love that. It's a small room. I would say Stir Crazy because I love Tom and I love that staff. They treat me like a king. I love it. I do. But I will say, I do have a place in my heart for that. I don't know. The last 3 times I went to Yuma, it was like crazy. But those weren't clubs. But I'm gonna say Stir Crazy Comedy Club. Okay. It's a great place to see comedy.
Yeah, that's a nice club.
It's in Westgate in Glendale. Now, this show is brought to you by GeneMooreComedy.com, where you can get T-shirts and candles. But if you want to see a good show, go to Stir Crazy Comedy Club at Westgate in Glendale, Arizona. Thank you, Tom. Okay.
All right, next question.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a car wreck?
Chris, I have. Oh my God, yes. So when I was like 7 years old, my grandfather had a lot of girlfriends. He had a lot of Sanchos.
Did he?
Yes, he was a player. You know what my grandfather would do?
Was he married?
No, he was divorced.
Oh, okay.
He was divorced. So
he was out on the streets.
He was in them streets. And you know what my grandfather did? This is how I know I could do acting, because he would coach me. Okay, I'm going to go and meet this lady. This is how we're going to act. This is how you're going to do. You know what I mean? And he's like, and if you do everything the way I say it, and he's like, and you cannot talk about other girlfriends or other places that we've been, because we would go to different towns, and he'd say, you can't talk about them, and just be cute. Just be real cute and be quiet but cute, like short answers. Like we would rehearse. He would ask me questions and then I would answer it, and I couldn't be too long and I couldn't be too short, and I had to be super respectful, and I had to be very much a gentleman. Like he taught me how to and this is the coolest thing my grandfather used to do. Like he would meet ladies and they would smoke and he would light their cigarette. Oh, that shit is so hot. When a man lights a lady's cigarette, it is hot. He would light their cigarettes. He would open their car doors. He would, every time we would go out to dinner, if they got up from the table, we'd have to stand up. Like it was, like we had it down.
That's old school gentleman.
Old school gentleman. And if I got it right, I always got new shoes.
So if he got laid, you got new shoes. Is that how it worked? If
I didn't mess up his what he had going with his Sancha, I couldn't spill the beans. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because like my younger brother and my sister, they would just tell everybody. Oh, we was just at Aunt Betty's house last week. Who's Aunt Betty? You don't have an Aunt Betty. My family's so mean though. My grandfather had one girlfriend, and her name was Betty Howard, right? Betty Howard, and she was the nicest white lady you ever seen. It real tall, but she looked like Howard Cosell in the face. Do you know who Howard Cosell is?
No.
He was like a 70-year-old man with bags, and they used to call her Betty Howard. And that sorry, Betty. Her last name wasn't even Howard. They called her Betty Howard because of Howard Cosell.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. She was so nice. You know, she was so nice. One time, my grandfather and Betty Howard, forgive me for saying her fake name, we took a train to Colorado from Michigan, and I peed. I was 7, and I peed, and I was so scared. My grandfather was going to lose his shit. So I told her I peed, and she helped me change.
Aww.
I know. I love Betty Howard. She always had the best snacks, too. Betty Howard. He used to have another girlfriend named Mary, and she was, like, so regal. She was like a Mexican queen. You know what I mean? She was like me, Aztec, Mexican royalty. She was the shit. She was a nurse. Yeah, she really loved my grandfather.
So what does this have to do with a car wreck?
So, I'm getting to So, thank you. See, if we had food on set, I would eat a little something and I wouldn't be like this. So anyways, the other girlfriend he had was Santos, right? So we get in a car and we drive. And so my grandfather, Oh my Mexican family, they are so crazy. So nobody in that family buys anything. They make everything handmade, right? So like they fix your car if it breaks down, and then they give you back extra parts. Extra parts? Here's a box of extra parts. Shit you don't need. You don't need it. Throw it away. You're like, oh my God. So yeah. So anyways, my grandfather bought a Camaro. It was like a 72 Camaro. It was real cool, and he put a camper on it, right? And instead of getting it sealed correctly, he went and he put like these hooks in there, and he all handmade, and glue and nails and oh my God, it was so good. Just get in, it's safe. That's what they said. So picture this. So they put blankets on the car. We go from Elma, Michigan to Grand Rapids. It's a 90-minute car ride. That's where my grandparents live. My grandfather lived. And I lived in Grand Rapids. So they put us in there, a whole bunch of Mexicans in the back of this car, right? All the kids. And my grandfather in the front, and sitting next to him is Santos. She's all, she's super, she was very elegant Mexican, but she was hood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, she had the real Mexican, eyebrows and stuff like that. Yeah, she was. And she sat next to my grandfather when he drove. And it was so, older. Remember in pickup trucks, they used to have no bench, and ladies used to sit right up on her man?
Yeah.
She loved her man. I'm going to stand by my man. So all of them are in the front. All the kids are in the back. Debbie, her daughter, is staying on so the big prize thing was to not be with everyone because it was hot. So we laid on the shelf. There was like a shelf that was built. So we laid on it, and we had pillows on it. It was like a little bed. And we laid on it. And don't you know, we went hauling down the road, and that car, the thing, we could feel it kind of moving. But everyone was asleep, and I was looking,
like
and
the camper cover thing.
Yeah, like it had clamps that were holding the camper down, but the wind was making it blow up. So the camper was like blowing up, and everyone was asleep. But me and Debbie, we felt it. We looked up. We were like, "Oh shit!" And we woke everyone up, and they were banging on the windows, and they were not answering. They were all up in their conversation, and that freaking camper flew off the truck onto the highway.
Oh my God.
Debbie is still like, I stood up right away, and I was like, I stood up, and that saved my life. I stood up, and I got down on the floorboard, and I stood up, and she got knocked out.
Oh my God.
She got knocked out. We were on the highway, and cars were coming towards us, and they were like dodging us.
Oh my God.
I know, it was terrifying, and we were screaming, and oh my God, it was terrifying. And then we pulled over, and then cars were helping us, and this lady gave me a nice bologna sandwich. I love it when people give me food. They took us to the hospital, and then it was a big deal. She was in a coma for a while. It was Yeah, it was a really bad accident, and Santos's family was all mad at my grandfather, and my grandfather's a class act. He paid for everything, and he was real apologetic, and so it was really, I had to stay in the hospital.
Really?
And I'm terrified of being in the hospital. And I called my mom, and I'm like, I have to be here alone. She's like, yes. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be here alone.
How old were you?
7.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they stayed, but they were all with Debbie because she was in a coma, and I was fine. I was coloring.
Freaking Debbie getting all the attention.
I know. Here I am, coloring. It's still terrified. I would cry at night, and the nurses would hit me. They're like, quit crying. I know, it's very bad. Yeah, you don't know what it's like to grow up Mexican. You're not considered a person. You aren't, even little kid. And so, so I got into an accident. Yeah, that's a very long-winded answer. The longest answer in America.
So, yes.
But it's important to know that.
So, yes, you've been in a car wreck.
But can I tell you one more funny thing about my grandfather that I love?
Yes.
He used to go to Olin Mills. It was like, do you remember that? It's
yeah.
Okay, so they would go to Olin Mills, and he would get a picture with his honey and hang it in the house. And every honey had a picture. It's every honey would have a picture. So my job, like when they would come over, if they came over surprise, would be to hang the picture and hide the other one.
Oh.
Can I tell you, I had fly shoes all the time. I was such a but the skills I learned from that is how to flirt. I learned how to be a gentleman. Thank you. You're welcome. Next question.
All right, next question.
Yes.
So we're at an hour, so we
I
can't spend too
know.
much time.
Oh, thank you. But the whole show is to help me get material, so quit rushing me.
If comedy doesn't work out, what is your backup plan?
I don't have a plan B. There's no
this shit
backup.
better work out.
The plan is to die. I don't have a plan. Yeah. I don't have a no. This is gonna happen. I know it is. It's a blessing, not because I feel like this is what my calling is. So
yeah, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, you put doubt in me.
No, it's gonna work out.
God. Oh, you're telling me don't chase my bluebird? My bluebird is here. The comedy bluebird is here. Thank you, Chris. Next question. That was uncomfortable. I'm sweating on that one.
Sorry.
I guess I'd have to run for office. I guess I'd run for political office, but
you could be a preacher.
I would love to be a preacher.
You'd be a really good preacher.
Oh my God, I would love to be a preacher.
Maybe you should test the waters with that now.
Be a preacher?
Yeah, just test the waters.
I don't know the Bible. I didn't go to school to be a Bible.
Well,
I can tell you God is good. I can tell you every single time I've ever been sad and down in my outs and I just give up and I have no hope and it's completely done. All I do is surrender and God sends an angel and I'm blessed.
See, you're doing it already.
And you know what?
Natural born preacher.
Thank you. And I try to be kind to people to repay the people that were kind to me. But in my, I don't want to sell something that I'm not. I'm not like a saint. I'm an asshole. But I try so hard. I try so hard to be good. It's so hard. It's hard to be good when evil's all around you. Amen? It's hard. Come on, somebody. Who am I talking to? Anyways, next question.
What has been your favorite job so far?
In life?
Yeah.
My favorite job that I've ever done? Well, I do love stand-up comedy, but I think if you're talking day job, like not comedy.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. Like, what's your favorite day job that you've had?
Yeah, because stand-up comedy is not something people always. Sometimes I forget to have fun at a show because I'm so worried about doing it right and make sure everyone has a good time.
Yeah.
I would say the most fun I've ever working with my friend Sandy Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy Turner was my friend. She was Miss Clairol in the 60s, and we would laugh so much. Oh, my God. I love that job. I love being with her. I can't, when Deanne died and I was really sad, I could hear Sandy's voice in my head. It's like, you just have to get up and move on. Sandy Turner was an amazing person. She was really into fashion. She was so put together. She was the kind of lady that would get up on Sunday and put her clothes out for the week. You know what I mean? Like, she was to the nines. And the thing that I always ate lunch with her every single day. I loved going to lunch with her, and so we would just laugh and talk shit about people. So much fun. You got to understand, I always feel the need to make people laugh and entertain them. I just automatically do. I just automatically feel like I got to be that person. And with her, I just sat in the back seat and just enjoyed it. She was on show all the time. And the crazy thing about her is she would go to these stores and she would buy like fancy purses, and then she would sell them out of her trunk of her car on payments to poor women who that were having a tough time. I don't want to be mean, but they had been women that life had beat them down, and they were not looking at how they looked anymore and cared about how they were getting kind of heavy and a little sloppy, and they're just really ragged and poor in their shoes. And she would buy stuff and then sell it to them on payments. And I said to her, Sandy, what do you get out of that? You're not making any money. And she said, you can either look at people like that and make fun of them, or you can do something about it.
Oh,
make the world a better place.
That's nice.
And another angel that came to me. Amen. Thank
nice.
you. What was the question? How far off did I get?
What has been your favorite day job so far?
Oh, yeah.
Working with her.
Yeah,
she was a great person.
She was. Do you not agree? She was so much fun.
She was so fun.
God.
Yeah, she was a blast.
Yeah, and she was from St. Louis, so we had that in common, and she loved that. And God, I just loved her so much. Yeah, she died in her sleep. of a heart attack.
Wow.
I know. Next question.
That got dark. Who is your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush? You know, I'm not straight, but God, you know, Julianne Moore is hot. No, I'm just kidding. No. Celebrity crush? You, Chris. You're my crush. No.
Just answer the question.
The Pillsbury Doughboy.
The Pillsbury Doughboy.
He's so hot with his buns. I don't think I really have a celebrity crush. There isn't anybody that I really like that. Let me think. Is there, like, men bore me. Like, I don't know. Who do I have a celebrity? Who do I think is hot? I think that guy, Chris Evans is hot. Chris Evans.
Yeah.
He's kind of cute. I'm trying to think. It's uncomfortable for me to say that movie Dune with Timothy Chalamet, or how do you say his name?
Chalamet, I think.
Chalamet. He's kind of cute, but I'm like, ooh, he's like 10. It's uncomfortable. Is he a man yet, or what?
He's a twink.
Is he a twink? Yeah. But no, I don't really have a crush. Thank you.
Okay.
Next question.
That's a boring answer.
Well, I don't. Let me think. Do you think I have? Is there anyone I really like? Let me think. Is there anyone I think is hot?
You talk about Tom Ford all the time.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Tom Ford is the shit. And the thing I love about Tom Ford, he used to own Gucci or run Gucci. And
He was like the head of Gucci at one point.
And then how do you say that name? Yves Saint Laurent.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Laurent. I don't know. Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know. Yeah, he's hot. He is very hot. Very stylish. But what bothers me about him, he's from Texas, but he talks like he's very Connecticut and European. There's an interview one time he gave with People magazine about like comfort food, and he said, "Hostess donuts." And they're like, "What? Hostess donuts?" So full of shit.
Donuts.
I know. It's like when Madonna went to England and she's like, you know, all English all the time. I'm like, come on. You're from Detroit, bitch. Get it together. Next question.
That's it.
We could go eat now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's go get some food.
All right. Get ready for the card. We're gonna fly out of here, Chris.
I'm gonna go start it and let it cool off.
Thank you. You know what? I will tell you this. Today I went and yesterday I shut my door, but I forgot to turn my car off. And I went in to get my sandwich, and me and my friend Brandon, who I love so much, we came back and we're like, the car's on. And I'm like, yeah, I wanted to keep the air going for you.
You left the car running?
I don't know how I did that. It was so
God.
It's so quiet.
Should I be worried?
No, we were in a good part of town. Try that in a small town. Try that in a ball gown. Yeah.
A ball gown.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up. I think I saw that on the internet. That's not for me. I'm just, the devil's in me because I'm hungry. Who am I talking to? Anyways, this is our show. I thank you guys. We've been getting a lot of good feedback from this. And so I thank you. It may not make sense to you, but it's all coming together for me. And it's about me. No, but I hope that you had fun. If there's something that you want to talk about, send me a message and let me know. But remember, we end the show every time. We say, always put away your shopping cart. Shopping cart is what makes you a good person. This is how we heal. Whether you're in a small town or a big town, we could come together. This is the United States of America. It means something to be American. We got to look out for each other. Putting away your shopping cart says that you care, and I care about you. So please come back and see us. I love you so much. I'm Gene Moore, and this has been Gene Moore in the Pickle, sponsored by GeneMooreComedy.com. Thank you, guys.